Welcome back to my ongoing Doctor Who breakdown. I watched School Reunion, Girl in the Fireplace, Rise of the Cybermen, and Age of Steel. Two of those episodes are good. School Reunion is a fun episode. Anthony Head is really amazing as the baddie. It's got quite a nice story to it. One slightly odd thing is, in the Christmas Invasion, David Tennant's Doctor, 10th Doctor, was very much like, no second chances, I'm old, I've seen too much shit, man, I'm really ruthless now, or whatever. And Russell very obviously just pivoted off that pretty much immediately, but no one told the writer at School Reunion, so when the Doctor's having a face-off with Anthony Head, he's like, you get one warning, that's it, man. It's just a bit of an odd inclusion, given that's not where the character ended up. It's a very simple story. It's not bad. And there are a few kind of adorable bits where they clearly wanted to put a tension beat in. One of the baddies will like swoop down at the characters, do nothing, and then fly away. Which is like, okay. So that like steers the show more into being a kid's show. But yeah, like Anthony Head is an amazing actor who's very good and very sinister in everything he does. He and Tennant bounce very well off each other. Rose's presence is fun. Sarah Jane Smith's presence is fun. Mickey is a good inclusion because it's building to like Mickey noticing that no one respects him at all and he should get the fuck out. Yeah, like a few minor niggles aside about how like the adorable tension beats, the CG has aged not well. But yeah, like a few complaints doesn't stop it from being, is it good or very good? Ooh, I think it's good. I would struggle to put it much higher. I've switched over my tier list because I lost the other one. Girl in the Fireplace! Girl in the Fireplace is one of Moffat's simplest stories, possibly the simplest Moffat story. It's really good. I basically don't have any complaints other than the fact that it's sad. Madame de Pompadour is a fun historical figure to add. She's not one of the obvious ones. There's not much story to it. It's really weird for a Moffat episode because he's usually story, and this is very character focused, which is, that's cool. It's nice to have Rose and Mickey like set off around the ship with their freeze gun fire extinguishers, like, because Rose hasn't really done a whole lot in the episodes up to this point. In Christmas Invasion, she did nothing. In New Earth, she was occupied by Cassandra the whole time, so didn't really do anything. In the werewolf episode, she tried to get Queen Victoria to say we are not amused like 6 times and didn't do a whole lot other than that. And in School Reunion, she didn't advance the plot much, but she was like active in the story in that she infiltrated the school, and she was very characterful. Like her character was very active, and her dynamic with Sarah Jane Smith was like one of the main draws of the episode, one of the main like emotional cores. So it's nice to have like Rose be quite proactive in Girl in the Fireplace, even if she gets immediately captured. My only thought, like metatextually, about Girl in the Fireplace is like people tend to, the fucking bad faith dickheads, accuse Moffat's Doctor of being too powerful, too big, and too special. And what I was left with, like what I was really struck with when watching Girl in the Fireplace is Girl in the Fireplace, the episode, is, I believe, really presenting Renette, Madame de Pompadour, as like the special one, and the Doctor gets to be in her life, if you see what I mean, which is a cool, like, that's nice. Renette does like get quite focused on the Doctor, and you could argue that that's the Doctor being like really special, but I think we do need to keep in mind whenever we're talking about this, it's like the Doctor is a time-traveling alien. It's fairly natural for a person to be quite impressed by that. But yeah, I was really struck by how much presence Madame de Pompadour has in that episode. The actress they got to play her was really fucking good. The casting in Doctor Who is still absolutely on point. Do I think it's very good or good? I mean, I cried, so it's very good. Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel. I made a new category for these. I'm just going to stick them there while I talk about it. Okay, so these episodes are less good. they are not bad. I struggle to think of, like, specific things in the episodes that I can point to and go, that's bad. The cliffhanger that links them is very bad. The Doctor has his little core of TARDIS energy that's recharging, and he throws that at some Cybermen. They disintegrate, and the characters run away. And, like, that little gizmo never does it again. And it's like, at first I thought it was the sonic screwdriver, which I was preparing to be really angry at, but it wasn't. Story-wise, they're extremely straightforward. That's not a bad thing. They're just... I didn't feel like there was any life to them. The Cybermen aren't scary. They say delete, delete, delete as their catchphrase. I don't know if that is an old Who thing or if it was first invented for this series. Either way, I don't like it. I assume it's a way to give the Cybermen a catchphrase to match the Daleks' exterminate, exterminate. And I don't think the Cybermen needed a catchphrase, and if they did, delete, delete is not very good. Exterminate says what it is. Like, the Daleks are fascists. They're exterminating other life. That's what they do. The Cybermen are much more... like, the metaphor of the Cybermen is a bit more... nebulous than the metaphor of the Daleks. But either way, like, you're not really deleting someone, are you? You're killing them. Like, if they were talking... like, if they had a catchphrase that was focused on disposing of the weak flesh, like, dispose, it's still not good, man. What's really not... so the Cybermen walk quite slowly, and in this they only have a weapon, which is they electrocute people when they grab them. So they're really easy to get away from. In the cliffhanger, the Doctor and other characters are surrounded by a bank of Cybermen, and they're all holding out their hands saying delete, delete, delete. And what they are noticeably not doing is attacking anyone. So the Cybermen really don't feel like... they're not scary. There's no real sense of threat at all, really. If this was series 1, I would be more inclined to give it a pass, because you could say that was because it was aimed at a much younger audience, but the werewolf in the Tooth and Claw was much better as a baddie. The Cybermen, like, one Cyberman really wouldn't be much of a problem, if you see what I mean, whereas one werewolf is a massive problem, and not in the episode Dalek, because the episode in the Dalek and Dalek was actually kind of shit. But in other shows, like in the Series 1 finales, a single Dalek is a really big deal. The characters were fine. They included alt universe versions of Rose's dad, Rose's mum, and an alt universe version of Mickey. They're fine. Mickey's grandma abuses him, like slaps him a few times. And he talks about how she did that to him as a child, and yeah, that is child abuse. And you're just doing it on screen. I know this was 2006, but child abuse is child abuse. Stop it. I don't have anything to say about either episode, which is why I just put them in mediocre. And the reason I put mediocre below subpar is with Dalek and with Tooth and Claw, and to a certain extent with the Gelf episode. I have nice things to say about each of these. In Gelf episode, like, Simon Callow as Charles Dickens was very good, and the performances were still good. In Dalek, like, it had nice ideas, I just wish it had done them well. And Tooth and Claw was like a good episode let down by a few things. Whereas for Cybermen and Age of Steel, I was just watching them going, it's not bad, it's fine, but my bar for being okay is, would I recommend anyone actually watch this? And in subpar, it's like, I probably wouldn't, because, like, there are pretty serious flaws. And in mediocre, it's like, I wouldn't recommend anyone watch these because they're just not very interesting. Then, like, I wasn't thrilled watching them. I wasn't scared. I wasn't swept away by the plot. The characters were okay, but mostly what they did was annoy me. Like Rose automatically fixating on her dad. Yes, cool, I get it, but you don't really do a whole lot interesting with it. and you draw comparisons to Father's Day, which you really shouldn't be doing, because, like, yeah, you don't do yourself any favors by doing a similar thing to what one of the best episodes from a previous series did. Jackie's fun. I like that the show kills Jackie. I wasn't expecting that. Mickey and his doppelganger, it's fine. Mickey stays behind in this episode. Yeah, I suppose the only kind of interesting thing is that Mickey stays behind because he works out that Rose, the Doctor, and also the show are kind of treating him shittily. And yeah, like, up to this point, Mickey has done basically nothing to deserve the level of bullying and disrespect he gets from everyone in his life. Which, like, yeah, no one in his life treats him well. The person he stays behind for, his gran, like, abuses him, and everyone else either considers him a nuisance, an annoyance, or actively dislikes him, or just ignores him. And it's played for laughs, but it's repeatedly played for laughs. And Mickey does some pretty significant things to help in multiple episodes, and the show just fucking hates him, and I don't like it. And, like, I'm not an expert on race, as you can tell from my pallor, but I am not sure it's super great to have the only prominent racialized person in Doctor Who at this point being treated like this. I'm not super happy with it.